Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this edition of the Around the Ropes radio show. Now, guys, if you remember back probably about a year or so ago, there was one company we talked about quite a bit in upstate New York, and that was Immortal Championship Wrestling. And I want to welcome back to the show for the first time, I think, in over a year. It's been some time.
The man behind it all. Definitely the first time this year.
The man behind it all. The one, the only, Mike King. Mike, welcome back to the show. How you been?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, and I'm glad to have you on. I think the last time you were on was when we were doing the first roast of me.
Yes, yeah, good, a lot of fun. We can get Chip back on the line if you'd like.
Oh, I'd love to have Chip back on, but I want to get into, obviously, like I said, Immortal Things 6 coming up this weekend. We are a couple days away from the show. How are you feeling going into the show?
I mean, same as all shows, it's a show. I mean, Immortal Things is usually one of our bigger shows of the year. If you remember a couple years ago, we had Susie from Stranger Things, and last year we had Minoru Suzuki.
Yeah, and then if I also remember, there was I think it was Immortal Things 4 was when Bobby Bates went down with the injury.
No. That was a different show. I think it was Halloween Havoc.
Yeah, but that was, I think, also in Rome, though, I remember.
No.
Cobleskill. That was Cobleskill.
Cobleskill.
Yeah, that was Cobleskill.
Yeah,
but no, I mean,
when he thought he was able to leap over the top rope.
Yeah, I remember that show vividly. But obviously, you said it before. This is the, when you look at the calendar, this has become one of the marquee shows of the year. Looking at it now, how have you felt with this being, the 6th edition of Immortal Things?
I mean, the card is stacked. I wish we could have had a little bit more star power, but I mean, who we have is definitely making a name for himself over in Japan right now. So
I know, I agree with that. I definitely want to go over the card. And I kind of want to start off with the main event. Mike Skyros and Garrett Holiday, because we actually had on our show this past Tuesday, we actually had on Mike Skyros, and I want to ask you quickly, what is your, what's your thoughts on this whole thing with Garrett turning and how he's kind of treated being the champion now?
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of out of the blue. I thought Garrett is a close friend and things, and then everything that's transpired with him and Mike, especially the ending of the last show. I mean, he just degraded Mike. I mean, you don't cut somebody's hair.
No, you don't.
I mean, that, as you know, that was Mike's trademark. That little ponytail.
Yes,
he always had that little braided tail, and they were holding it up and prancing around like it was a trophy. And after that, I lost all respect for Garrett and Sean and his faction.
Well, we do got a comment coming here before we go any further, and I call her Miss Front Row Billy. Says, "Hey John, hey Mike, hoping to make it out. I miss my Immortal friends."
Oh, you got to get out. It's been a while.
And actually, it's funny. I think I know who's also doing ring announcement for you guys on Saturday.
Yeah, you might have heard of the guy before.
I
said you might have heard of the guy before.
Yeah, he might have done ring announcement once or twice, but
it's been a while since we had Ryan back too.
Yeah,
so we're looking forward to it.
He is very good, but I want to get now to this match, and I'm just looking here at the card, and I don't think you could have found 4 of the biggest guys in Immortal. This match right here, as Maddox takes on Bill Collier, Pat Sawyer, and making his ICW debut, Parker Boudreaux. First of all, how does it feel having Parker in Immortal?
I'm actually excited. He has been messaging us pretty much for the past year, wanting to come in, and finally just the stars lined up where we had an open date, and I'm pretty excited because he's been over in Japan and making waves over there. I mean, they're booking him like a monster over there. He's on quite the roll, and
with this match, knowing how big all these guys are, I feel sorry for the ring. If anything.
Oh my God. Yeah. Pat Sawyer's like 6'8". Bill's 6'6". Maddox no slouch.
I would say,
Ergo is just a
I was
beast.
going to say, is the shortest person in this match going to be the referee?
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
But now
Trying
let
to
me
think
ask you
who's
this: though.
roughing that.
Is it safe to say, and I could be wrong on this, whoever comes out of this could be in line for whoever comes out of the main event?
That's a possibility. It really is. I mean,
Because I mean, we've
you never,
seen
as you
Bill.
know, in the wrestling business, you never know what's going to happen.
No, I totally
Especially
get that.
with us, there's been plenty of surprises, especially a few shows back where a lot of title changes, and
And
so you never know.
no, I actually want to get to one of the title matches that I think is title changes because you talked about them before, and that's the triple threat women's match. As Carolina Cruz takes on, I'm going to butcher her name, Livia, I think is her name. Livia, and Christina Marie in a triple threat match.
This is a number one contenders match for Masha at the Fair Show August 5th.
And there's a good chance Masha could be walking into that Masha 3 belts. Depending on what happens at Slammiversary.
I am hoping that would be huge for us.
But how?
That's why she obviously isn't at the show Saturday.
Yeah, well, let me ask you this. So obviously, Christina Marie just came back about last year, I think, because she had been. How has it been for Immortal having Christina Marie back, in the locker room, kind of being that voice, for the women?
I mean, it's been great, and she's had a lot of tough opponents. I mean, if you recall last year in the fall, Eva Lise ended up taking the belt and had it for a few shows, and so I mean, we've really had the women's division has been stacked when you think of it that way. I mean, Eva Lise was a former champ. Right now, we got Masha with the strap on her, and so I mean, I'm very happy with our women's division.
No, I can see that, but I see Christina Marie. Obviously, you mentioned before Masha and Eva Lise from obviously who had the little bit of run, but I feel like Christina Marie kind of holds a little bit more importance because she's there, show in and show out.
Yeah,
and she's kind of become almost I hate to say it, almost like the gatekeeper for the women's division.
Yeah, that's why we're introducing more new faces like Livia and Carolina Cruz. I'm excited to work with Carolina too. I don't know if you're aware, she's Brian Pillman's girlfriend.
Oh, okay. No, I did not know that.
Yeah, when she got released, he reached out to me that day and, hey, can you book my girl?
So. Hey, it's nice that you can have these guys, in the bigger companies who, if they get released, you're one of the first names that come. You're one of the first names that pop up.
Which is cool as hell because, I mean, Pillman obviously thinks very high of us because there's been a few other recent NXT talent that's been released and they're reaching out to us like right away. So we figured out where it's coming from. It's coming from Brian's, which is great. I love it. So
it makes your life a little easier because it's not like you have to sit there and reach. I'm not saying you have to not reach out to them, but some of them, as soon as if they get released or they happen to work out, they'll turn around and go, "Let me go see if Immortal is free. Let me go."
Yeah.
So
we got a couple others in the works for later this year from NXT too, but
but that must show you how many people are noticing what.
Oh, definitely. And I treat everybody like family. I try not to keep the drama free in the locker room and take care of the guys. I usually have catering every show, and it's a fun environment.
I've been at quite a few, and I know, especially when the ones that I came to when Chip was still there, and it would become, as soon as I walked in the door, it would be how long till he started poking fun at me.
Chip's great. I love Chip, and
then of course,
I'm not going to really say too much, but there's something huge in the works with Chip Stetson. That's all I'm going to say for now.
I get it. But one of the matches I want to get into, I think, has me most intrigued, and that's Ting in singles action take on Adam Stone. Now, we've seen these guys kind of go back and forth. If you remember back last year when Adam Stone and Mike Skyros were the tag team champions, they were working a lot with Black and Yellow. So I still remember the 8-man tag.
Yeah. I mean, they were best friends, and out of the blue, Ting just snapped on Adam. I don't know if it's jealousy, thinking he deserves the belt, or that just came out of the blue. It's a whole different side of Ting that we haven't seen. Honestly, I thought he wasn't going to make it out of Rome alive with Adam's family.
Yes, I think, and like I said, I think this match, out of the ones we've talked about so far, I think this one has me most intrigued, in the sense of, like you said before, Ting and Adam were best friends.
Yeah, and Adam just had a baby too.
Congratulations to Adam Stone, by the way.
I mean, this week.
So that's actually going to make it interesting.
So he's got a lot on his plate, and then now he's got to deal with King's bull crap at the show.
Yeah, that's going to be very interesting, because
it really is, because like I said, this is a side of Ting you've never seen before. He's not out kissing babies and things. He's focused on one thing, and that's ending Adam's career, basically.
Not only that, but the thing also, Ting, obviously we know of him from Black and Yellow. Adam Stone, I mean, remember him from Power Supply.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about two teams that I remember back when I first, became familiar with Immortal and was coming up to a lot of shows. It always seemed like in some variation, it was Black and Yellow and Power Supply going back.
Yeah, if you remember last year, we had the cage match.
Yep, I remember it. So it'd be interesting to see these guys kind of be in singles. I'd be very curious to see how this plays out. But I want to jump around here for a second, because we got a couple more matches to look at. And I want to get to this one, because this one actually also intrigues me. It's the Rising Star tournament that you guys started last year, and this year is the second.
Yep. Our boy Matt McCoy won it last year, and
this one is Ash Bennett taking
quite the role. I mean, he ended up beating Bill Collier with a little fuckery, pardon my language, but last month. So,
but
I mean, to have a win over our former heavyweight champ and a beast like Bill is something great to have on your resume. That's for sure.
No, absolutely. But looking at this match, obviously you got two guys who are trying to make a name for themselves in Immortal, Ash Bennett and Don Fraze. In the little bit of time they've been part of Immortal, how have you felt about their performance so far?
They've been phenomenal. I mean, obviously they got something to prove, so they're bringing their A game every single night they wrestle for me.
And I mean, it's funny.
And the funny thing is, if you look at Don, you're like, who is this guy? And when you see what he can do in the ring, it's absolutely amazing. And he has won over the hearts of all the fans. I mean,
no, I totally get that. I just feel like with these two guys, with how loaded the singles division is right now, with Scott and Holiday, and we mentioned before Bill Collier, Pat Sawyer.
When he's available, Spencer Slade. I mean, we got so much talent. It's crazy. We have to turn people away all the time.
But that must be. I mean, yes, you don't want to turn people away, but in the back of your mind, it must make you a little happy, because it's like, okay, we're doing something, and people are taking notice of us, and we only have shots.
Yeah, no, that gives you a great feeling inside. That's for sure, that we're doing something right.
But now with this, with Ash and Don, what do they have to do, in your opinion, to stand out that you could see them eventually? Not saying, at this show or the next show, eventually going after singles gold.
Going after what? I'm sorry.
Going after singles gold.
Well, obviously, the winner of the Rising Star tournament gets the Rising Star belt.
Yeah.
So, but they both have been very impressive. I could see either of them having quite the run in ICW. They've been Like I said, they've both been very impressive. It's going to be
Now,
tough though with Matt McCoy holding that. I tell you, that guy's got a future.
oh no,
He is.
I agree with that 100%. But I want to look now at the tag team match you guys have, and it's CRX taking on. I think it's their ICW debut actually.
Yes.
Miracle Generation.
Well, CXR wanted to face the best, so Miracle Generation is one of the best teams in the Northeast.
Oh yeah,
So.
I like how you say though that CXR wanted to go for the best, and you're like, yeah, let me just go pick one of the teams off the Mount Rushmore of independent wrestling for the tag teams. And with how dominant Miracle Generation has been, especially up here in the Northeast, I mean, could it? I mean, if it works out schedule wise, could it, if Miracle Generation comes out of this with the victory on Saturday, could they be in line eventually for a title opportunity if they prove themselves?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. And if they leave, obviously, as champs, they're going to be back in Cobblestone.
Yeah.
I'm going to spill the beans right now for a tag team that the winner of this match is going to be facing in Cobblestone. It's going to be Anthony Green and Channing Thomas.
Oh, wow.
So the winner of this match, who it may be, are going to have their hands full in Cobblestone.
Wow, that's actually those two guys. That's a pretty formidable team there.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But now back to obviously we talked about Garrett Holiday before, and as I said on Tuesday when we had Mike Skyros on, I refer to this gentleman as one of Garrett Holiday's Goonies, and that's Sean Carr. Obviously, yeah. Sean, a lot of us know, made history. You know, he's the first two-time ICW heavyweight champion. But where do you think it changed with him? Do you think he changed basically because Garrett? Do you think Garrett has something to do with it? Like,
oh, definitely. I mean, this is another side of Sean that the fans in ICW's never seen before. Same with Garrett. I mean, that was quite the shock, especially when the last Rome show where Garrett turned his back on Skyros and aligned, all the stars aligned, and then he has Carr and Father Derek with him and the ninja guy. And jeez.
Well,
he's building quite the faction there.
Yeah, it's now obviously he's going up against DJ Powers.
Yeah, he's debuting too. Another young and up and comer. I've watched his footage. He's going to be a star. This kid.
I'm just looking at the picture. Obviously, I'm going through the match graphic that you guys put out. I don't know why, but he looks like I could see him in like a year or two on like NXT. He has that look to him.
He does. He really does. He's got the look and he's got the charisma. He's pretty much got the total and he's young. He's a young kid.
It's scary when we sit here, when we're talking about the independent scene, and you talk about these kids being great and they're at the top of their game, and they're like, yeah, he's 18 years old, and I'm sitting there going, this kid hasn't even hit his prime.
Lydia's 18.
Wow.
And she's already been on AEW.
Wow. Okay. I gotta go back and watch that episode but you look at a lot of these guys, we talked about it before, some of the people on here, it's like they're like maybe in their mid-20s, and it's like, yeah, they're like at the best. I'm like, they haven't even scratched the surface yet.
No, I know.
Now, last match we got on here, and this one I think is a very interesting one because it's Sarah and Rain taking on Richie the Madman. Now, yeah. I bring this up because, as we mentioned before, I noticed a trend with except for the tag team, obviously. You have a lot of guys on this card who have been featured heavily in the tag team division who are going the route of singles. Because obviously you mentioned before Tang.
Well, if you remember, before he went to WWE, Saren faced Alex Shelley up in Westmoreland.
Yep.
So, I mean, Richie's got his hands full. And Richie's been on such a roll, but last show he faced the bigger Madman and came up just a hair short.
But now overall, I mean, you're looking at it, like we said, Ting, Stone, Adam Stone, Saren. Do you think it's going to be a much different version, being that we have seen them so heavily with tag teams, that
Oh,
also
definitely.
see how they're going to be as single stars?
Well, Adam obviously he's the Northeast champ, so
Yeah.
he obviously has proven he doesn't need a partner. So,
But the thing is, like I said, with the guys like Ting and Sarah and Rain, they're used to having a partner. I mean, I don't
yeah,
remember. I could be wrong. I don't remember last time we had Ting in a singles match since I've
no,
been
I haven't, other than yeah. So it's going to be interesting. Like I said, we never seen that coming up in Rome when Ting attacked him.
Now, for people who are watching this who have never been to an Immortal show, and they're watching this and they're going, well, I got no plans on Saturday. I want to make the trip up to Rome. What would you say to them as far as a reason to make the trip up?
I always tell people too, and it's a win-win, because if you don't like the show, you have a shitty time, I'm going to give you your money back. Now, who has a guarantee like that?
Not many people.
Nobody. And I've never had to give a single penny back since I've been in the business. And I guarantee you'll have a great time. You'll have much more fun than you will at the E. And it's affordable. I mean, right now you can buy a family 4-pack of general admission for $70. That's 4 tickets for $70. You're lucky to go to a movie for that now, pretty close,
I would go a step further. That's basically what's going to cost you for one seat at WWE.
Yeah, a nosebleed seat. And
Pretty
we
much.
always sell out a front row, so that isn't in the equation. But I even put second row on sale too, 4-packs. So I mean, it's so affordable. People are crazy if they don't come to it. And the hardest part is, with any indie promotion, is getting the fans in the door, because they believe if it's not WWE, AEW, they're not going to have a good time. But 9 times out of 10, they have such a better time.
Well, I've always said this in the 4 years of doing this show, and the last couple of years, obviously, being more involved with the independent scene. I've always said this on the show. I've always made the comment, you said before, being more affordable. You also get to meet the stars, and if you go to a lot of them, you almost get to grow almost a friendship. I mean, you talk about doing like a meet and greet in WWE. 9 times out of 10, you're meeting the wrestler for maybe 30 seconds.
2 minutes? Yeah, 30 seconds or so, yeah.
And they don't remember who
the hell you are. Like now, it's crazy. Like in my general area, surrounding areas, every time I go shopping, I run into somebody, a wrestling fan, and they stop me. Mm-hmm. And my wife doesn't even like going shopping with me, because obviously I stop, chat forever. And
but that's big though, because even you being the promoter, you're doing that. People are going to still make that connection, and you don't. I mean, people don't realize this, especially somebody who's on the independent scene. They have that interaction with a fan. They may have just got a lifelong fan out of it, and B, if let's say for example they're having, I mean we all have this, you're having a crappy day, nothing's going right for you, and then also you have that interaction with the wrestler.
Yeah,
it could make. I mean, how many times do we hear of them, in the bigger companies, WWE and AEW, when the wrestlers do meet the fans, and and you hear the stories of I wasn't feeling myself, and then I met so and so, and I'm feeling a lot better. We see that so often in wrestling as a whole that people don't realize that.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Oh, one match we forgot to mention on here. It's a pre-show, but it's this will be the 3rd annual. It's the 16 Stone Cup Battle Royal.
Now, I'm glad you brought that up. Now, for people who are watching this who may not know, what are the actual particulars with the 16 Stone Battle Royal?
I mean, it's just an over-the-top rope battle royal. I mean, we got a good-sized trophy. They get their name on it. It's displayed year-round at 16 Stone Microbrewery in Holland Patton, which is very well known out in the area, and almost positive they're going to have their beer again at the show. We're just waiting to hear back from the state. They are, but last show we had he did a Dippin' Donuts blueberry donut ale.
Okay.
And what they're going to do, what they want to do, is when we run in Rome is like each show have like 2 limited edition beers, special cans, and everything. And
I get that. I get that.
so I can tell you the blueberry donut ale was awesome. I'm drinking a Saranac blueberry blonde right now, and I can tell you that blueberry ale by 16 Stone was much better.
Guys, you definitely want to go check it out. And Mike, like I said, I'm glad we're able to get you back on. And I want to have the opportunity, especially now with the new direction that the show is going, I want to be able to at least give you guys a platform, you and Immortal.
Sure. And like I said, we had a lot of big things coming up next month. Obviously, the fair show. We got WWE Hall of Famer, and he will be inducted into the ICW Hall of Fame that night as Teddy Long coming back. I'm looking forward to seeing Teddy. Teddy is such an amazing person. And my heart just goes out to him because I don't know if you've seen that his son passed away.
Yeah. I still remember, I think it was the Nexus show.
Yes.
Was it the first one?
Yes.
And I just remember sitting there and watching him interact with everybody. I'm like, this is Teddy. I'm like, if he turns around and says, you're going to go one-on-one with the Undertaker player, I'm going to sit there and go, okay, who's coming in as the Undertaker?
We did that on a show in Canajoharie with Matic when he was the 24/7. It was the Matic Taker. You're going one-on-one with the Matic Taker. Matic was all in the Undertaker gear coming to the ring. The gong went off, and it was great.
But, like I said, I definitely want to give you guys another, just another platform to promote and everything.
And don't forget, in September, we got Carlito coming back to ICW as well. I've worked with him once before, and last year at the fair show, I worked with his brother and cousin, Primo and Epico. So,
and actually, we do have a comic coming here, and he is the guy who will be.
Hey, there he is.
Guys, yes, obviously.
Looking forward to seeing you, Ryan. It's always a pleasure having you.
But like I said, Mike, I definitely want to get you guys back on again. I definitely want to, give you guys that platform again, like we used to have. And
and I might even be able to get you a little bit bigger guest too. So
absolutely, you tell me when, and I will make it happen.
And I'm sure Chip Stetson down in Florida, him and Shane would love to speak to you.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially Shane's doing big things. He's training at the dungeon down there.
Yeah. Oh, you mean that's Steven? As I said, a couple of somebody actually asked me about that story recently, about how the whole issue started with me and Shane. And I'll tell you, I don't know if you know the story quickly.
No.
We were doing, myself and Billy were doing a preview for Immortal Things 4. I think it was Immortal Things 4. And it was on the show, and Shane was in a match. I don't remember what match it was. And for some reason, I forgot his first name.
Oh, no.
I thought it was Steven.
Wrong Stetson.
And all of a sudden, it was because I think that I had seen him at the Nexus show. I think it was right before the Nexus show. Because, yes, you guys were just making your debut at the Nexus Center. When my first interaction with him after the unfortunate incident, and he never let me live it down.
Oh, he's a great kid. Chip is like one of my best friends. He is awesome. I am so blessed actually to have him as a friend and a mentor, and we're always asking for his advice and running things by him to get his take on it too. So, and like you said, and he's working on something huge for us.
Well, like I said, I definitely want to get Chip back on. It's always fun having him on.
Yeah, you never know what's going to come out of his mouth.
So prepared. That's why whenever he comes on, I always have the thing of, if you are a child under the age of 13, I don't recommend watching the video.
Yeah, we're planning on a trip going down to see him, so that's going to be a blast.
But Mike, again,
every time I talk to him, he's always my daughter. Hey, honey, when you coming to Disney with Uncle Chip? And I'm like, oh.
But like I said, though,
well, needless to say, that trip's got to happen before the end of the year.
But Mike, I definitely get that. But guys, again, if you're up in the Rome area, definitely go check out Immortal Things 6. We just went over the card. You're going to see guys like Mike Skyros, Garrett Holiday, Christina Marie, Miracle Generation, Sarah and Rain, and so much more. Guys,
Parker Bordeaux.
Yep.
Anna Cruz.
And also, forgot to mention, Parker Bordeaux is doing the seminar before.
Seminar, yes. Which I tell you, I highly recommend it. I mean, not too many times you're going to get a chance with a guy fresh off a tour in Japan to be doing a seminar. So,
and also, not only that,
it doesn't matter if you've been in the business 10, 15 years or a year, you're always going to learn something new and get a different vantage point of somebody else's style.
Absolutely.
That can add to your game, you know?
Like I said, I totally agree, guys. Again, check out Immortal Championship Wrestling on all social media accounts and catch them this Saturday up in Rome, New York. You're not going to miss it. Immortal is always puts on great shows, and I'm hoping either later this year or sometime next year to make my way back up.
Awesome. Don't forget, if you can't make the show, you can catch us live on IWTV.
Absolutely. And also, I know one of the people calling the action is Miss Kristen DeVille.
Yes.
So again, you don't want to miss that. Again, catch Ryan, call, doing what he does great at, announcing everybody. And
give him a little shit, give him some heat. He loves it.
Of course, he does. He's one of the best to do it. And I'm not just saying it because I know he's watching. That's me being truthfully honest. But my
suck ass. Ryan, before we even went on the air, he says you suck.
But Mike, again, I appreciate you coming on, and I definitely want to have you. I want to get a lot of the Immortal guys back on here again.
Definitely, sounds good, man.
All right, guys. Again, catch Immortal Thing 6 this Saturday, and like Mike said, if you can't catch it in person, you can catch it on IWTV. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be a great day of action. But again, Mike, thank you so much for hopping on. I appreciate it a lot. Guys, for Mike, I'm John. This has been the Around the Ropes radio show. Coming up next, we got Michael Turner and Tabitha Brown from Main Event Wrestling. And there might be a few announcements being dropped, so you're not going to want to miss that. But we are out of here. Catch you guys next time.
Thanks again, John.